So this guy showed up at a leftist protest with a sign saying, "Charlie proved you right," and they confirmed that fact. As they literally threw him down and assaulted him. As, of course, the conversation surrounding Charlie Kirk is definitely getting more interesting by the day as we have new allegations, allegedly Egyptian special forces. What in the world is going on here? As Erika Kirk is speaking out, calling for more transparency regarding the Charlie Kirk assassin case here, as we also have a very interesting post from Israel War Room that right now TPUSA is actually speaking out about what in the world is really going on here, as of course there's theory upon theories, as new documents now have been officially released surrounding Charlie Kirk's appearance at UVU, as Candace now described another major bombshell coming soon. Is it? Well, we're going to discuss that as honestly as we can here on this independent media broadcast. If you appreciate these type of conversations, subscribe, click the notification button, as of course we greatly appreciate all of your time and attention. As this scenario, I think is very important to talk about in a real way. As Erika Kirk was recently on Fox News talking to Jesse Waters, talking about the recent ban by the court in Utah that prevents filming the court proceedings of Tyler Robinson, something that, of course, I think is the wrong thing to do. There's also a gag order. I think that's also the wrong thing to do. I think we need a lot of transparency here, and we have gotten a lot of weird statements from the FBI, as well as the FBI saying, hey, we will not entertain the conspiracy theories, when in reality, the best way to deal with the conspiracy theories is by being transparent, is by being open, is by being accountable, which Erika Kirk has called for more of.
The defense wants to ban cameras in the courtroom. How do you feel about that?
There were cameras all over my husband when he was murdered. There have been cameras all over my friends and family mourning. There have been cameras all over me, analyzing my every move, analyzing my every smile, my every tear. We deserve to have cameras in there. Why not be transparent? There's nothing to hide. I know there's not, because I've seen what the case is built on. Let everyone see what true evil is. This is something that could impact a generation and generations to come.
Absolutely. She's 100% right. As of course, we have to understand here, this is the event that will be with us for a very long time, especially after last Halloween, a couple days ago, a couple hours ago. A bunch of leftists decided to, of course, celebrate the end of Charlie Kirk in the most kind of awful, disgusting kind of costumes that are very messed up. As of course, there was other online internet personalities that took the situation in order to poke fun and to try to attack Erika Kirk. As of course, we have not just these kind of weird Hollywood disgusting type of celebrations, but also a member of the independent media that came out and released this type of image, which personally I find disgusting, as Kyle Kulinski, a man who knew Charlie Kirk, decided to release this photo. Now, I say a lot of the attacks that she's been getting are definitely unwarranted. Andrew Koval responded by, what is wrong with you? Milo says, I don't like anyone involved that much, but you should lose your account for this. George Alexopoulos says, you're irredeemable pile of ish. Hate so fills every cell of your body, you somehow feel the willpower to make fun of a grieving widow with two children. A lot of people are saying, we're going to remember this. And for me, this was just pretty disgusting. I was like, this is pretty effed up. As let's be honest here, it's not only ridiculous type of theories that are surrounding Erika Kirk, but Also, a lot of ridicule, a lot of disgusting actions by individuals who clearly have been online for way too much, that have lost a part of their soul, a part of their kind of humanity, that are more and more oriented towards, yeah, let's do the most disgusting thing ever because it's going to get everyone talking about me. It's going to get me clicks and attention. And that type of world, I think, is slowly and surely spiraling out of control, especially with how divided and how crazy and insane the situation is currently in our social media discourse. As right now, we also had Israel War Room just post on Twitter a few days ago that Charlie Kirk will be, quote, posthumously honored at Israel's 2025 Christian Media Summit in recognition of his, quote, courageous stand for truth and steadfast support for Israel. Now, that support of Israel is questioned as, of course, Candace Owens released some text messages showing that there was a little bit of a more of a tumultuous support that was going back and forth, especially with donors that were trying to shut down Tucker Carlson from being able to speak, which Charlie Kirk responded by saying, yeah, we're going to make sure that Tucker Carlson speaks. He might even speak twice now. As now, they also reported that Erika Kirk will, quote, accept the award on her husband's behalf as a, quote, moving tribute to a man who inspired millions to stand with Israel when it mattered most. The Pillars of Jerusalem Award, inspired by the verse teachings that the world stands up upon justice, truth, and peace, will be presented to Douglas Murray, Yalal Ekson, and Dr. Urin Bugler. As a lot of people are saying, wait, what? What is happening here is Andrew Koval came out and says, this is the first we're hearing of this. We've reached out to the reporters at the Jerusalem Post for a correction, as it looks like the Israeli government press office wavered on claims that Erika Kirk would be accepting by video call post-humanist award on behalf of Charlie Kirk after Turning Point USA said that it was not aware of the award and its CEO was not scheduled to, quote, participate in this. Right now, we also had documents that were just officially released as UVU just provided the application that was made and the security plans that was presented to them, as the university records related to what happened at Charlie Kirk were just officially released. After 6 weeks, the first records provided, the application submitted, that was submitted in mid-July. The applicants answered standard questions about the time, place, description, and event. There was one question was not asked on the form, whether organizers need any kind of police protection. The question is a standard inquiry for events at other institutions, such as the University of Utah. Yeah, it's interesting how that wasn't labeled there. Maybe there was some kind of dispute here. As now, Candace Owens has declared that, quote, she cannot sleep. This was on Halloween. This was October 31st, this past Friday, saying, I cannot sleep. Discovered something in this Charlie Kirk mystery that is incomprehensibly dark. Incomprehensibly dark. They all betrayed him. Who's all? Quote, may need to kick the Norm Finkelstein interview until Monday and go live tomorrow early instead. Now, what did she talk about? We're going to talk about that, this statement, and a lot of other stuff. But before we do, just quickly, we just wanted to remind you that we are supported by you and you guys supporting and checking out wearechange.shop. It's a great store. It's our store. Our number one selling product on the store is our creatine. It comes from one of the best sources, if not the best source that you could get creatine, Germany. A lot of people are like, where do you get your creatine? And they're like, I don't know. We can't tell you. Shush. If you go on Amazon, they're like, hey, where'd you get this? A lot of them don't want to tell you. Why? Because a lot of them are filled with additives, alternatives, and fillers. Crap. Some of them are filled with heavy metals. Ours, 99.99% pure from Germany. The best source that you could get it. I was just on Instagram, and the more you start liking this stuff, the more it just starts showing you. But a lot of people are saying, hey, Spanish scientists discovered that creatine, quote, allegedly kills anxiety and calms you down. It also helps reduce inflammation in the gut. Lots of people have a lot of inflammation in the gut. Lots of processed seed oil food out there that's horrible for you. As of course, we're getting reports that creatine boosts the brain's psychocreatine levels, which fuels nerve cells during stress, With more stable energy, the brain produces balanced levels of serotonin and dopamine, the two key neurotransmitters that regulate mood and calm overactivity in the nervous system. In the gut, creatine improves cellular energy and reduces the production of pro-inflammatory molecules like cytokines. This lowers antioxidant stress in intestinal tissue, EAS irritation, and helps maintain a healthier gut lining for smoother digestion. Interesting type of stuff. Do your own homework before putting anything into your own body, but check out wearechange.shop and get a 2-month supply of creatine just for $53. Now, let's go back to this post here by Candace Owens, as I think she was referring to the documents here, the application. As someone says, FYI, mid-July, saying that TPUSA did not check the box whether they needed a pre-release or made. As she responded to this by saying, yes, the decision to, quote, murder Charlie Kirk was made after he let Tucker Carlson take the stage. I feel certain of that. Now, is that exactly what happened here? I need proof. I need evidence. We do not have that. Personally, I'm not a fan. Originally, Candace then released a Norman Finkelstein interview that Friday. And as far as like the big, and again, it's hard to say. I just personally, I'm not the biggest fan of like speaking in generalizations. Like I don't like it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. That's my only kind of critique here. It's like, if you're going to do it, listen, this is very important type of stuff. If you have something, release it right away. Let's stop with PR. Let's stop with the marketing. Information out there, boom, to the general public. And now some people will counter me, like, no, that's not how it works. You need to get more eyes and attention on this. Therefore, you need to do it this way. I just respectfully disagree. And that's my own type of discernment. That's my own type of way of respectfully pushing back here, because I think we need more of a open, earnest type of conversation. Now, a lot of people going off about their different theories. The Google searches are a bit weird here. But the main thing that Candace was recently talking about, the latest that she's been talking about, was, of course, this Egyptian military plane that landed in Provo, Utah, that allegedly dropped off military subcontractors and departed the same day. Now, there's some people online saying, yeah, this is routine. This always kind of happens. There's nothing new. There's nothing out of the routine. Other people are saying it's weird. Candace is saying that her whistleblower, who fears for their life, claims that the aircraft was a top secret mission. Other people are saying Egypt still gets USAID and they get foreign funding, and it's because they're working with us and they were hired as contractors by allegedly the Israelis. And I'm like, where's the proof? I need evidence. Where's the evidence? Where's the proof? I understand you got your theories, but I need something a little bit more concrete before we're going to go off a lot of this type of kind of conjecture. Here's what Candace had to say in her own words about this jet, which previously she made some mistakes about when it came to UTC, mixing it up with Utah time, which she previously made a mistake about.
I can now report to you that it is a fact that on 9/4, there were, this was not some dropping by in Utah as they were trying to claim because the plane needed to be serviced. That's what they ran with. They ran with, this could have been a routine servicing. I guess there's just no place from Egypt all the way to Utah that an Egyptian military plane can like get a tire changed. This is totally routine. Nothing to see here. Well, I'm telling you that for a fact, that plane was carrying military subcontractors. And for a fact, they were dropped off in Provo, okay? And that they did not make it back to Cairo. I showed you the plane left. They left on September 10th. It then laid over in Wilmington, Delaware, and departed back for Cairo on the 11th. I am telling you that when that plane left, okay, those people were mysteriously missing from that plane, okay?
Now, how do we know this other than like a whistleblower? Now, again, a lot of people previously asked to check Candace's notes, and Candace turned out to be right. Is she right on this one? I don't know. I haven't seen any type of proof.
What's going on here? Why are Egyptian military subcontractors, what are Egyptian military subcontractors doing in the middle of Provo, Utah on the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Okay? Again, I am saying as a fact, Kash Patel, please feel free to dispute this. In fact,
now, Kash Patel, I don't know, probably won't be disputing this, as of course there are internal agency battles between DNI and the FBI, as there are now allegations of Kash Patel blocking Tulsi Gabbard from investigating any foreign or domestic accomplices in Charlie's murder. And a lot of people are saying, well, that's a major issue here. That's a major problem. Myron Gaines actually came out and, as a former federal agent, talked about how, yeah, the two agencies don't trust each other and they don't cooperate and work with each other well. Now, I would say, hey, this would be the time that you get your ish together. Now's the time, especially with record amounts of threats and violence, especially with people just foaming at the mouth trying to destroy each other, tear each other down. We have enough of that. All right, we have serious problems when it comes to radicalization of people, as he came out and said this.
FBI, though they're an intelligence agency, they're also a law enforcement agency. And law enforcement and intel are two different worlds. So when intelligence personnel start looking at a criminal case, the FBI is going to feel a certain way about that because the IC simply does not trust the FBI and vice versa. Look, I know that's not the sex explanation you guys want, but that's probably why we have these issues between the two.
Yeah, why don't they just, we're talking about Tulsi Gabbard. We're talking about Kash Patel. You would think they'd be on the same page. You would think that, hey, bygones be bygones. This is the time to actually come together as a country, as a nation. Elon Musk and Donald Trump came together. Elon accused Donald Trump of being on the Epstein client list, and the two came together. And Elon allegedly said, hey, we got to stick together or else we're going to hang separately. That's the type of sentiment that a lot of people are believing. As, of course, also in her Finkelstein interview, Candace Owens talked about how there allegedly is also a billionaire that is pushing a lot of people to push talking points against her and Tucker Carlson. Now today, we're seeing a very organized, well-funded type of major operation trying to take down and destroy Tucker Carlson. This is what Candace had to say about it.
I know for a fact, because I know someone who took the money, and they wouldn't tell me what billionaire it was, but I can tell you around May of this year, whenever I termed it Operation Mocking Pastor was happening, where every pastor, it seemed, jumped on stage one Sunday and said, don't follow Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, a very weird sermon to preach all on the same day. It was right after Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson had debated. There was a billionaire that went out and offered what they said to me was an obscene amount of money for people to begin influencing by creating anti-Candace and Tucker videos. So that's how it works. I mean, that is just...
And listen, going online today, that's all my feed is inundated with. It's like, Tucker sucks, Candace sucks. They're all horrible. Nick sucks. And I disagree with some of these people in their positions. I think some of them are a little bit extreme. Sure, yeah, okay. But, why is the right hyper-focusing on self-inflicting, emulating, and self-destroying itself? Hey, do you not see what is happening in our country? Do you not see the major issues, the major problems with what clearly is a country that is ever so divided? And during these times, we got to be there for each other. We got to stand up. We got to get our ish together. All this constant infighting, all this constant insanity isn't going to push the needle, isn't going to help win the midterms, isn't going to help de-escalate the current scenario and situation. As, of course, when you look at these type of scenarios and situations unfolding and the type of hatred and anger that's being directed at people, this is the time you have to put your issues aside. Transparency, more transparency than ever. That's what Erika Kirk is calling for. I agree with that. There's a lot of people at TPUSA that have a lot of their own questions. There's other people that I think just are a little bit too ridiculous and take it a little bit too far as of course not having any evidence saying, no, oh, the TPUSA is involved in it. And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? They're the ones calling for transparency. There's a gag order. There's the process that's being followed. There's interagency fights happening right now. And you're kind of like left looking around. It's like, get your ish together. And if you think they should do that, instead of all this petty squabbles and nonsense and insanity and rumors and speculative nonsense, share this video. What do you think about this Egyptian flight? Is it something worth looking into and investigating? I'm like, hell yeah, I want to investigate all of it. Investigate all of it. Who was on that plane? Let's talk about it. Let's find out. How can we find out? Getting more attention on the issue. Does it prove a conspiracy? No. But is it something that we should look into? Absolutely. That's my own personal take on it. What do you think? Thank you so much for doing your own research, supporting us by getting some creatine. I'm going to be here for you guys doing that. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.